Hello everybody and welcome to this verbling class this morning. My name is teacher Amy and this class is about grammar. So it's part of my new series called Getting a Grip on Grammar Gripes, which is basically a lot of alliteration using g, 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 just to talk about some of the really common and misunderstood grammar kind of mistakes or minor things that many students make. When they're using similar constructs. So today, for example, we're going to be contrasting the usage of must and have to and the negatives, as in mustn't and don't have to. And then later on, if we have time at the end, we're going to be looking at some nouns that can be both countable and uncountable, depending on the situation. So if you've been confused about must or have to before, do come along in and have a little bit of a practice with us. The rules are quite straightforward, but remembering the rules and using these two words correctly is the thing that can be sometimes a bit tricky. So do come along in and join us. I believe there are some free slots still for this class, and you can practice with me as we first of all talk about the grammar so that everybody understands it clearly, and then we'll just have a bit of a practice using these instructions. So welcome, do come on in. While waiting for the students to join us, what I'll let you know about, like I usually do, is my Facebook page and my Verbling teacher page. Those are the two links that you're going to see now in the chat box. And the reason I like to share these with you is because I think that they kind of reinforce your experience here on Verbling. If you would like to find out more about any of the teachers, or to keep up to date with upcoming classes, or to check out a teacher's private tutoring schedule, then you can use their Verbling teacher page for that. You'll find all the relevant information that you need to know, and if there's anything you still want to find out, you can use our Verbling messaging feature. So do go to the Verbling teacher page. The Facebook page is also handy if you are a Facebook addict, and you can keep your eye on English teaching throughout the week. And I believe that lots of the teachers use that to share some useful resources or to keep in touch with their students, and also let them know about what's upcoming in the class world. Also sometimes to give feedback on classes and just share stuff together in a kind of informal way, which is quite fun and also keeps your brain thinking about English throughout the week. So do check out those pages if you have time. Now, we're going to get down to business and say hello to the students that are here to learn about grammar today. The brave students. Okay, let's say hi to Alberto first of all. If he's there. Are you there, Alberto? Oh, he's coming in and out of class. I'll come back to you. I think he might be having a connection problem or two. Let's see if Eduardo is there.
Hello?
Hello, Eduardo. Have I met you before?
Not. It's my first time.
Well, it's lovely to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
All right, and are you from one of the big cities, somewhere I'd know, or somewhere else?
Tiny city.
A tiny city. That's usually what we call a town, Eduardo.
Town? Oh, yes. Tiny town is Santa Maria in south of Brazil.
All right, so is it summer or winter there for you?
Is winter.
Is it cold?
Pretty cold.
All right, well, join the club because I'm in New Zealand, even though I'm from the UK, and it's winter here too. So we're in the same hemisphere, Eduardo.
Yes, probably.
It's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Tell me, why are you learning English? Have you got a specific reason?
Maybe I'm going to travel next year, I think, and I need to learn English to communicate with people.
All right, well that's a great reason. Do you have a plan as to where you were going to go? Which country or countries?
I have plans to go to Europe, Germany, France, and England, I think.
All right, that sounds excellent. Well, I wish you luck with that trip, Eduardo, and welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Who else do we have here? We have Raphael. How are you doing?
Hi, Amy. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Yep, I'm great, thanks, Raphael. Have you got any news to tell me today?
No, unfortunately not. Just the same as
Same old,
always.
same old, huh?
Yes.
Has the weather been nice where you are, or is it cold? I can't remember.
Well, it's getting hard since the spring is coming up,
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah.
uh, the heat is coming.
The heat is coming. Oof,
Ye-
that sounds foreboding.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
hoping the heat is coming here too, but I've got another few months to wait. New Zealand takes a while to warm up, it has to be said.
Is New Zealand a hot country?
Not particularly. The North Island where I live is a little bit more tropical. But the climate's not dissimilar to the UK really. It just is much more changeable, so we don't get so much rain all at once. But it changes all the time, so we get a bit of everything. And the South Island's a little bit more extreme, so it's hotter in the summer, but also it snows a lot in the winter, so it's kind of
I see.
strange. Hmm. Diverse, I would have to say, if I had to sum it up in a word. All right,
Okay.
well, welcome, Raphael. Nice to have you.
Hi.
Um, let's say hello to Valerio.
Hello, Amy.
Hello, nice to meet you.
I'm Italian. I think
Well,
it's the first time I have a lesson with you.
I believe so, Valerio. Am I
Mm.
saying your name correctly? How do you say it? Valerio? Valerio?
Valerio is perfect.
Okay. Well, which part of Italy are you from?
I come from the south of Italy, from
Hmm.
Naples.
Ah, Naples. All right.
Uh,
And you're having summer. So are you having a nice summer?
yes, I had a very good summer.
Great.
Uh, um, Unfortunately, it's terminating.
It's finishing.
It's finishing.
Terminate is like okay. Yeah. Yes, that is a shame. But to be honest, I'm happy about that because I'm in New Zealand and I'm hoping that summer is coming to me now.
Okay, okay, it's right.
Yeah, it will be here
Sorry.
soon. All right. Well, it's nice to meet you, Valerio. And um, what else did I want to ask you? Why are you learning English? Any particular reason?
I learn English to improve my job.
Uh-huh.
I work with Italian and I would like to expand my customers to English people.
Uh-huh. Fair enough. Well, that's a great reason.
Mm. So I have to learn English if I want to improve my budget.
Absolutely. Yep. Improve your income, maybe.
Income, yes, exactly. Thank you.
No worries. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now
Well,
I see
that was...
two people, two Hemi.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. I just got kicked out, then it brought me back in. I did nothing, I just sat here. New Zealand is too far. I think you're right there. Sorry, guys. Okay, right, well, I was just letting you know how we're going to split up this class. I'm just going to ignore that little hitch that we had there. I don't know what happened. Sorry. So we're going to talk about the positives. That's must and have to. Then we'll talk about the negatives, mustn't and don't have to, which are a little bit different. We'll spend the end of the lesson talking about nouns that can be uncountable and countable, depending on the context. So I'll just say a quick hi to Mahmoud. I'm probably saying your name so horribly that you can't recognize it. Are you there? Hello. Can you hear me, Mahmoud?
Yep.
All right, please help me. How do I say your name?
Yep, I can hear you.
Excellent. Could you help me with the pronunciation of your name? How do I say it?
Mahmoud.
Ah, okay, let me try. Mahmoud. Mahmoud? Okay. Forgive me if I forget that in a few minutes. Welcome to the class, Mahmoud. It's nice to meet you.
Me too.
All right, guys, so we're going to get started on the actual thing that I was talking about before. All right, so does anybody want to just tell me what their first impressions are? What is the difference between using must or using have to? Does anybody know, or would anyone like to share anything?
Must, it's saying you should to do it. I think so.
Yep.
Have to. It's if you maybe do it or not. I can't tell my.
That's a great start. No, that's a great start. Thank you, Mahmoud. So, yes, both of these words have a similar idea, right? They convey a sense of obligation. So something that you need to do, that you must do, that you should do, that you have to do. The thing about these two words is that when native speakers use them, we use them in a very specific way, which is not immediately clear if you're not a native speaker. Excuse me. So that's what we're going to clear up in this lesson. The problem is that if you use one or the other of these, it tends to have a sort of underlying meaning which you guys may not realize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you two sentences, and I might just do a screen share because I think it is easier for you to see a document on the screen instead of the chat box. So there we go. I'm going to give you two sentences, and I would like you to tell me which is correct. So we've got this one. And this one. Alright, now the difference between these is simply about the grammar for the moment. So who would like to hazard a guess? Which is correct? Is it the first one or the second one?
The second one is correct.
Excellent. Why?
Because it's an option.
Because it's an option, as in you don't have a total obligation to go. You can choose whether to go or not.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
You can choose as you want.
Okay, nice try, but actually no, that's not the immediately obvious reason. Anyone know?
Because must can be followed by to.
Absolutely, that is the reason. Well done, Raphael. You can't say I must to go. Must must not be followed by the word to, okay? So now this is also correct. So if we have these two sentences, what is the difference between them? Is there a difference?
In the meaning, you mean?
Yes.
I think the first sentence is a good meaning. I want to go. I cannot miss this interview. I have to go is an obligation. Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
That is correct. Well done. Excellent description. So let me clarify that, just repeat it for those of you who are still a bit unsure. If we use the word must, what it basically means is that the sense of obligation, the feeling, comes from the speaker. And this is really, really, really important for native speakers. Because if we say, I must do something, it's almost as if we're trying to remind ourselves that we have to do it. It's something we feel that we should do, okay? So, for example, I might say, oh, I must get my hair cut because I feel my hair is too long and it's annoying me, perhaps. However, if we use the word have to, it's usually that the sense of obligation is imposed upon us by somebody else. So what I like to say with this one is it's kind of like the teenager's word, because they're always saying like, oh, I have to blah blah blah. I have to clean my room because my mum told me to, or oh, I have to do my homework because my teacher told me to. So it's something that's imposed on us by someone else. It does not come from ourselves. So, for example, I have to do my homework before I'm allowed to go out. So, let's just leave these on the screen for a moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you guys to think of your own example. So just think about your lives for a moment. And I want you to come up with, first of all, an example sentence using the word must, okay? So just think about what we've got on the screen. And while you're thinking, I'm going to say hi to a couple of other students who've just arrived. So I'll say, first of all, hello to David. How are you doing?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine, thanks. And
Good
you?
to see you again.
Thank you.
Are you following what we're doing, David?
What?
Are you following what we're doing? Are you understanding everything?
Yeah.
Good. That's great to know. Just let me know if you have any questions. And Jose,
Yeah.
good to see you again. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm doing well.
Excellent. How's your daughter Dora the Explorer today?
Well, she is amazing today. She is not like a health baby teacher, always run around their house and make something funny.
Well, that's because she's Dora the Explorer. She has to explore all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the class, Jose. Are you following? Do you understand what we're doing?
Yeah, I think that I could understand.
Good. All right. So let's go through. I'm going to ask Valerio, first of all. Can you give me a sentence using the word must?
Okay. I must learn guitar.
All right. And why?
I must learn guitar to get all the girls.
Great example. Well done, Valerio. 10 out of 10 for that one. All right, Raphael, your turn.
I must lose weight
All right, why?
because I want to be in a good fit until next year.
All right, you want to be in good fitness, or you want to be
Fitness.
fit. Okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well done, Raphael. Great example. This is something that girls say all the time. I don't know if we actually attempt to do it, but we do say it. Mahmoud, what about you?
I must learn English to communicate with other people.
Beautiful. Well done. And you're accomplishing that as we speak. Jose.
Okay. I must to give classes uh, for my job.
You must what for your job?
Yeah.
You must take classes, did you say?
Yeah. I must
Okay.
take classes.
If, okay, that's absolutely fine. What you mean by that then is that because you want to do well in your job, you're going to take classes. If you'd said instead, I have to take classes because of my job, that means your boss is making you take classes. So which of those is true for you?
It was or I have to.
All
I
right.
have to take classes
All
for my
right. So
job.
your boss is making you do it, right?
Yeah.
In that case, you need to use have to instead of must. So can you think of a sentence using must? This is an
I
obligation that
said
comes
must.
from. Yes, you did, but then you told me
Oh,
that
okay.
your boss was making you do it, so I've changed. You should use have to for that.
I understood. Okay, teacher.
Yeah? All right. So can you think of another example? Something that you must do, that you want to do for yourself.
Okay, I must to put my daughter to sleep at
Good.
night.
That's great, except for the fact that with must, you don't use the word to, okay? I must put my daughter to sleep.
I must to my. Okay, teacher.
Well done. Great example. Okay, it is Eduardo's turn.
Well, I must to get some sleep.
I must get some sleep. No to.
Yes, yes. I
I
must
must get some sleep. That's a great example. That's a really typical one to use. Well done, Eduardo.
Thank you.
David.
I must exercise more.
Yep, that's definitely a common one as well. Excellent choice. Alberto, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yay! Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
I was trying to say hello to you earlier, but we couldn't get you. So, are you doing all right? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay now. Maybe the Wi-Fi is no have some problems.
Okay, yeah, the Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy. All right. Can you give me a sentence using must, Alberto?
I must go to the office to finish the project.
All right, is that because you want to go to the office or because your boss wants you to go?
Because my boss his file is don't finish my work.
In that case, you have to say have to, exactly like Jose, okay? So I have
Okay.
to go to the office. So can you give me an example using must, which
Okay,
means it's something you want to do?
Okay, I must go to the airport to go home.
Excellent. There you go. Perfect. All right, we're going to switch now, guys, and I want you to give me an example using have to. So this is an obligation imposed on you by somebody else, okay? Plenty of these in life. Should be quite easy. Valerio, your turn first.
Okay. I have to clean my teeth.
Because your mum has told you to, right?
Yes, because it's boring to clean teeth.
I agree. All right, Raphael.
My ex-girlfriend said to me, "You have to change."
Excellent example. I'm not going to comment on that, though, to save myself. All right, Mahmoud.
When you go to school, you have to wear a uniform.
Perfect example. Well done. Jose.
I have to give a present for my wife on Valentine's Day.
I have to give a present to my wife.
To my wife, yeah.
Yeah. Because she wants one, right?
What, teacher?
If you say I have to give a present, what you mean
Yeah.
is you're giving the present because your wife wants the present, correct?
Or of course.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Well done. What are you going to give her, Jose?
Repeat, teacher, sorry.
What are you going to give her? What's the present? Is it jewelry?
Sometimes jewelry, but sometimes something like a trip to present.
Oh, wow, you're a very nice husband. She's very lucky.
Yeah, I suffering with that.
All right, well done, Jose. Eduardo, have to.
I have to work 6 days a week.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, yes.
Oh, poor Eduardo. Eduardo, you're overworked. David, your turn. Have to.
I have to pay the rent.
Yeah, that's definitely one. Me too, David. Okay. And Alberto.
I have to pay the bills.
Oh, yeah. That's a great example as well. All right, well done, everybody. I think that's nice and clear. I want to go on to the next point about these two words now. A very, very important point. We've mentioned the fact that to does not come after must. So we say I must, and then we go straight to the next verb. When we use I have to, we obviously have to. However, there's another important rule to remember. Must is only used in the present tense, okay? If you are expressing a sense of obligation in any other tense, you can't use must. So you can only use it for the present, which is important to remember because I'm going to give you some little kind of activities now. So what I want you to do is to fill in the missing word with the correct form of either must or have to. So I'm going to write these out. While I'm writing, just have a read through and see if you can figure them out for when I ask you. And have a little think about it. All right. So there we have 6 examples. And I'm going to go through these one at a time and get you guys to tell me, should I use must or should I use have to, or any of the other tenses, okay? So it could be in any tense. I'm going to let's start from Alberto this time. Alberto, could you do number 1 for us? Please.
Who?
Alberto, sorry.
Okay, okay. Okay, if you want to go away next month, you're to start saving money. You
Yep.
have to start.
Very good. Why does it have to? Why did you know that it was that, Alberto? Was it just a guess?
No, it's because because it's something else speaking to another person.
Okay, well that is true. However, that could be the case with must as well, because I could say to you, Alberto, you must lose weight. I could say that. Technically, it's okay. It's a good point, but there's a stronger reason why we have to use have to here.
The true.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of them. Because you can't say you must to start saving money. The other is this, right? The fact that we're using the future tense. We can't use must because must only works with the present.
It's
Yeah.
present. Perfect. Okay.
All right, well done. David, you're going to do number 2.
I'm exhausted. I had to work every weekend last month.
Well done. Good work. Why does it have to?
Because it is in the past.
Perfect. Easy peasy. Well done. Eduardo, number 3.
I haven't seen you in ages. We have to meet. No, must meet up some.
Good. Why did you choose must?
Oh, because it's not an obligation, I think.
All right, so
we can or we cannot.
True. So for this one, if we use this, we must meet up soon. It's like you're saying, I really want to meet up soon, so that's what I'm going to tell myself, right? You could also use we have to meet up soon in this situation, but it would be more like imposing the obligation on the both of you. So with using must, you take it upon yourself a little bit more to organize some kind of a meeting up, okay?
Okay.
Well done. Number 4 is for Jose.
Number 4.
It's a little bit trickier, Jose.
Yeah, I realize because I don't know the answer.
All right, have a try. Have a try.
I can't stand. I can't stand to eat in a long queue. Teacher, I don't know what that sentence want to say. Queen is long.
Queue. What is a queue? A queue is a line. A queue is the UK version of a line. And you have to wait in a line for, I don't know, to pay for something at a shop. Yeah?
Synonymous.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't extend. I don't know, teacher.
No idea? Okay, let me help you, Jose. Firstly, we need to decide, is it must or is it have to?
Have, because there is a true.
Exactly. So you're halfway there. Well done. Can anyone add in the right tense here? What tense do we need to use here? Anybody?
Present continuous.
Very good. So what should it be, Raphael?
Having.
Very good. That was a tricky one, Jose. Here we should use the present continuous. So it's I can't stand.
The word stand. I don't know the real mean.
The real meaning of this. What does I can't stand mean? Can somebody explain it?
Stand up.
Nope. In this case, no. This is more of an idiomatic meaning.
I dislike
standing.
Yes, it means I really, really dislike something.
Ah, okay.
So it's that's a good one to remember because this is a pretty common way of saying that you dislike somebody. In fact, you can somebody. It could be somebody or something. I can't stand John. He's so annoying. Or I can't stand having to wait in queues, for example. All right, well done, Jose, and well done, Raphael. Mahmoud, it's number 5 for you, please.
We must.
We must?
have to. We have to.
This is a trick question, Mahmoud. Sorry to give you a trick one. Actually, you could use either for this. It's fine for both, all right? So, if you say we must buy the ticket before we get on the train, what you're really saying is we have to remember. We should remember to buy the ticket. It's something that we need to try to remember to do, or you're sort of reminding yourself, right? Imagine you're with a friend and you say to her, oh, we must buy the train ticket before we get on the train. And she'll say, oh yeah, okay, we'll buy it when we get to the station. If you say we have to buy the train ticket before we get on the train, it's almost like you're telling your friend those are the rules, because maybe she's from another country and she doesn't understand how trains work or something along those lines. So either of those is fine. The difference is very, very subtle. Number 6. This is for Valerio.
All right. She's having to cut down on her expenses since she lost her job last month.
Very good. Excellent. It could also be she's had to. Either of those is fine. But we know that it's not must because it's last month and you've got a to after there. All right, everybody. Is everybody clear about these examples and what the difference is between those?
Yes.
Any
clear.
questions? All right, we're going to go. Yeah?
Teacher,
Sure. What's the question?
teacher, about the use of the present continuous and when you use having, why you should use having? There is a rule for that. I don't realize the difference.
Okay. That's a little bit, yeah, it's a bit of a complicated topic actually. Because we say, we had a specific example, right, in that sentence, I can't stand. With that particular phrase, you have to use the present continuous if you're going to talk about a verb. So if you're talking about a noun, you could just say, I can't stand tomatoes. That's fine. But if you're going to say something about a verb that you can't stand, you need to put it into the present continuous. Like, I can't stand eating tomatoes.
Okay. That is a particularity of the start of the sentence.
Exactly. That little idiomatic phrase to not be able to stand something. Yes.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we're going to go on to the opposites. Mustn't or don't have to. And you would think that this would be straightforward, but weirdly it's not. So I'm going to give you another sentence. I want you to tell me which one is correct and which one is incorrect. Right, have a look at these two sentences. Which one is correct and why?
Oh.
Anybody know?
Both are correct.
Both are correct? Nope, sorry. Unfortunately not. Anyone like to guess?
The first one is correct?
The first one is correct?
The first one.
I believe that the first one, teacher.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good job we're having this class because you're all wrong.
No,
this is the correct one, okay?
Why, teacher?
Why, exactly. All right, does anybody know why, now that I've told you? Or would anyone like to guess why?
Because the time take must or present simple.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat that?
The time always take present simple.
The time is the same, did you say?
The time always take present simple.
Ah, the time always takes the present simple. Okay. No, that's not actually the reason, but nice try. Let me explain it to you guys because this one's a little bit weird. Basically, it's that these two words have different meanings. So mustn't is used to say that something is not allowed, not permitted. And this one is used to say that something is unnecessary. So you don't have to do it. It's not an obligation. So that's quite a distinctive difference. For example, if you use don't have to, what you're saying is I like to kind of give you the idea of freedom. It's like you've been released from the obligation of something. So you might say, oh, yay, I don't have to work on Friday because my boss has given me the day off. Right? It's because you're saying something is no longer necessary because you now have freedom to do what you like. Whereas mustn't is used to say something is not permitted. So you might say, for example, oh, we mustn't be too noisy because we just put the baby to bed. So you are not really allowed to be noisy, you're not permitted to be noisy, you shouldn't be noisy because you might wake up the baby. Can everyone see the difference between those two?
Okay, teacher. Let me try understand. That's work like a against of the when I use must I have.
Yes.
Oh, that's a. Oh,
So,
okay, teacher. Thank you.
all right, let's go through a couple more examples because I know it's not immediately apparent. So I'm going to give you another sentence. I just want you to tell me, is this correct? And if it's not correct, what should it be?
Something is not necessary.
Is it correct?
So it's incorrect, yeah?
Yeah.
Good, very good. Because it's not that you're not allowed to get up on Sunday, it's that you don't have to get up because you can stay in bed because you've got no work, right? If you wanted to say I mustn't get up, it would probably be in some kind of situation like I've got the flu.
Okay.
And therefore you're sick, so if you got up, it would be a bad idea, right? Therefore you'd say I mustn't get up, or I must stay in bed. Alright, so let's go get some more examples, and you guys can tell me which one is correct and which one is not. We'll leave that on the screen so that you've got a little bit of help. Number one. Just have a little think about them as I'm writing, and I'll ask you in a moment. Alright, let's have a look at these guys. And I'll get Alberto to go first. Number one.
We don't have to pay to get in. It's free.
Very good. Well done. Because it's not necessary, right? It's the same as saying it's not necessary. Well done, Alberto. David, your turn with number 2.
Be quiet. You don't have to talk in the library.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
This one is mustn't, right? Because it's not really permitted. It's like sort of going against the rules of the library to be noisy. So it should be
okay.
mustn't because it's not allowed. It's not necessarily a rule that we're talking about. It could also be something that's generally not very well accepted by society, okay?
Okay.
Number 3 is for Eduardo.
Oh, you don't have to wear a uniform. You can wear whatever you like.
Excellent. Well done. You have the freedom to wear whatever you like. Good work. Valerio, number 4.
You don't have to tidy your room. I did it this morning.
Excellent. Wouldn't you love someone to say that to you? Well done. And number 5, Raphael.
I don't have to leave early. If I miss my bus, I can walk home.
Excellent. Very good. That's giving you the freedom to walk or get the bus. And last one is for Jose.
Okay. We must be late. They lock the doors after midnight.
Well done. Absolutely. Because if you're late, then you won't get in. So it's kind of like a rule. All right. Are there any questions about mustn't or don't have to, guys? It's a little bit more straightforward than the positive.
We have just practiced a lot for.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that it definitely requires a lot of practice. But as long as you understand the general rules, if you come up with any questions about it, let me know. We're doing well, everybody. We're getting through this quite well. So what we're going to talk about now is countable and uncountable nouns. So before we even start, could somebody tell me what is a countable noun and give me an example of one?
Countable noun is something we can count.
Very good. Such as?
An orange, an apple, a pen.
Absolutely. Perfect. And can someone tell me about uncountable nouns and give me an example?
Something that you count is letters, flour.
Yes, good example. So uncountable is a little bit trickier to explain, isn't it? Well done. So I think we all know by now that English nouns are split, right? Mostly they're either countable or uncountable. However, there can be a little bit of confusion because sometimes a word can be both, depending on the context. So what I'll do is I'll give you an example, and then we're going to have a bit of a brainstorm, just to sort of think of some more of these nouns that you need to be looking out for because they can actually be both countable or uncountable. So for example, the word chicken, we can have a chicken or we can have 10 chickens. This is the countable form, and when we use the countable form, it's an animal, right? That little thing that clucks and walks around a farmyard. However, if we have chicken without a, simply chicken, or for example, some chicken, we're talking about the food. We're talking about the part that you eat. So we might say, for example, oh, there are 10 chickens in the farmyard. We're using the countable form of the noun. Or we might say, would you like some chicken for dinner tonight? Then we're using the uncountable. So is everybody clear what I mean when we're talking about the two different meanings? Any questions about it? No. Okay, well, yes, everyone clear? Everyone following? Good. What we're going to do is have a bit of a brainstorm. I'm going to give you like 3 minutes. What I would like you to do is to think if you know any of these already, that things can be either countable or uncountable, type them into the chat box. I'll give you a couple of minutes, and then we're going to talk about them on the screen. So go for it, guys. If you can think of any, type them into the chat box now.
What? Right, what, teacher? Knows that
What I'd like you to think about it are there any more nouns that you guys know, like chicken, where it can be countable and uncountable?
Countable.
Yeah?
Wow.
No? Nobody knows any?
My brain break.
All right, Alberto's sensible, and he's gone for another meat, which works perfectly. Well done, Alberto.
So hard.
Don't worry if you don't know any, guys. That's the whole point of this class. But if you do, it's a good idea to share it. We can use them as examples. All right, well done. Let's stop now. We've got some good ideas coming up in there. I'm just going to leave this on the screen. So one of the ways of testing this, because it can be a little bit confusing, is to see whether these words work, right? If you can say a chicken and some chicken, then you know that both can work. Right, so let's have a look at the examples you guys have given. Yes, Valerio has said hair, so that's absolutely right, because we can have hair, or we can have a hair, or we can have some hair. Can you explain the difference between a hair and some hair, Valerio?
Not very much.
Very honest of you. Can anyone else explain the difference? No?
No.
All right, so some hair is basically talking about hair collectively. So when we're talking about the hair on our head or the hair on something, we use the uncountable. I'm going to brush my hair. We don't say I'm going to brush my hairs, even though that probably makes more sense. If you say a hair, you're talking about one single hair. Like, oh, you've got a hair on your shoulder, for example. Sometimes if you know, pieces of your hair falls out or whatever, it's kind of a weird thing, but that's the difference basically, guys. Good example. Let's go through what we've got here. So lamb, says Alberto. A lamb or some lamb. Can you explain the difference between those two?
Okay. Lamb's meat, or it's you in a farm, is an animal.
Absolutely. A lamb is an animal, some lamb is the meat. Very good, Alberto. Good example. Then we have, Eduardo says lesson. So a lesson is fine. Can we have some lesson? Not really.
No.
This one doesn't work, Eduardo, but nice try. Raphael says sound. A sound, some sound. Works perfectly. Can you explain the difference, Raphael?
When we refer to a sound, we refer to a particular sound. We can refer to a single sound. When you know some sound, I don't know. It's something like.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm even trying to explain. You know,
You're doing really well. So what the difference is, you're absolutely right. This is a single sound, a one-off sound, a particular sound. Like, oh, what was that sound I just heard? Maybe it was this, right? Somebody knocking at the door. However, if you talk about some sounds, you're talking about sound as a concept, really. The concept of sound, the idea of sound. So that's a really good one. Well done, Raphael. David's given us some countables: cigarette and beer and chocolate. David, are you like the world's most unhealthy person? All your examples are very unhealthy things. But yes, you're right. They're all countable. Sorry, cigarettes and beer. You can't say some cigarette, but beer is a good one because you can have a beer or you can have some beer. Can you explain the difference between those two, David?
I didn't know that beer could be uncountable.
Well, there you go. You've learned something.
Yeah, beers don't exist.
Well, actually, no. This is what we actually use for quite a number of drinks. So, like tea, coffee.
Okay.
If you say a beer, a tea, a coffee, what you mean is one particular drink or a cup of that,
Yes.
right?
Some
Or a
beer,
bottle.
many beers.
Some beer is just
Many.
exactly the liquid form. So tea, coffee. You can even say like a water. If you hear somebody say, "Can I have a water?" what they mean really is a glass of water. What's the difference, David, between a chocolate or some chocolate?
A chocolate could be a bar of chocolate and some chocolate. Maybe I don't know, maybe more than one chocolate.
Nice try. Actually, if you say a chocolate, you're actually talking about like a box of chocolates. You know how you can get a box with little mini chocolates, like roses or something like that? That's what we'd call a chocolate. If you say some chocolate, you're probably talking about a bar of chocolate, okay?
Okay.
Can I say chocolate powder when a
Chocolate
recipe?
powder.
In a recipe.
Yeah. We'd usually call that cocoa, though, Raphael.
No, about some chocolate. I don't know. Add some chocolate in the recipe. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
you would use some. Add some chocolate. Yeah, exactly. Light. Very good one. A light versus light. Raphael, can you explain that?
I think it's the same as sound. You can see a light, a single light. Some light, it's as you explained, the concept of light.
Yep, absolutely. Well done. So that works with quite a few other things. Eduardo said song. Eduardo, we can have a song, but we can't have some song.
Probably
Okay.
I try wrong again.
No problem. That's the whole point of the class.
Yeah.
Oh, Valerio's come up with another great one, which I'm going to have to share with you. Thanks, Alberto. Take care. We're just nearly finished now. This, and I would love him to explain the difference. Can you explain that, Valerio?
A punch is when you get to give a punch. Some punch become painful.
Okay, nice. Actually, no, that's not quite correct. A punch is when you get hit, right? A punch is like, oof, a hit. If you say some punch, what you would be talking about is actually a type of drink that you have at a party. You know what punch is? It's like a mixture of fruit juice and sparkling wine or something like that. And maybe has fruit in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very, very different meaning between the two. Otherwise, if you want to talk about the plural of this, you would say punches, right? A punch or two punches.
Okay.
But that was a great one to bring up. And then we've got one from Alexis who says heart, which is a great one. Does anyone know what the difference between a heart and some heart is?
No.
Alexis, if you know, can you type it into the chat box for me? And I'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to share some other common ones with you guys. So paper, you can have a paper, you can have some paper. Papers or a paper is individual documents, and paper uncountable is like the stuff you use to write on. You can also have time, which is probably one you've overlooked. Time as the concept or the number of times that you've done something. What about room? A room is like the space in your house, and room is like space in general. Then what about memory? A memory, a singular memory. Or if you're talking about a terrible memory, I have a terrible memory. That's how well you're able to remember things. So guys, we're going to have to finish off because I do have another class right away. If you'd like to come and practice your speaking a little bit more, then do join us. I'll just quickly mention heart. So a heart is obviously the body part, and some heart is the way that you feel, or compassion. Another way of saying sort of compassion. So if somebody has real heart, it means they're kind of a very compassionate type of a person. Alright guys, well done. Excellent work with your grammar today. If you have any more questions about it, do get in touch via Facebook or the Verbing Teacher page. If you'd like to practice your speaking, come with me to the next class. Otherwise, have a great day and I will see you again soon, I hope.
Thank you. Bye, Amy.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.